Hello, everyone. Stop everything. I need to talk to you right now about something that's happening in your life at this very moment. There's an urgency in what I'm picking up on, not because something is coming, but because something is already here and you might be missing it. You might be so focused on waiting for the right moment that you're not recognizing this is the moment. Welcome back. It's Anna. And what I'm sensing today carries this quality of immediacy, of now, of this cannot wait energy. Not because the future holds something urgent, but because the present does. Let me explain what I'm feeling here. You may notice there's a pressure building in your life right now. Not external pressure necessarily, but internal. Like your soul is knocking on the door of your awareness saying, pay attention. This matters. This is important. Some people experience this as physical restlessness. You can't sit still. You can't focus on mundane tasks. There's this sense that you should be doing something, but you're not sure what. It can feel like you're sitting at your desk or lying in bed or going through your normal routine, and your body is screaming that something needs to shift. Not soon. Now. Let's pause for a moment because this feels critically important. This reflection invites you to consider, what if the urgency you're feeling isn't about preparing for something? What if it's about recognizing that you're already in it, that the moment you've been waiting for is this one? You may notice there's a decision sitting in front of you right now. Maybe you've been avoiding it. Maybe you've been telling yourself you have more time. Maybe you've been waiting for more clarity or more resources or more courage. But something in you knows that the waiting is over, knows that this decision needs to be made now, not because of some external deadline, but because internally you're ready. You're already ready. In some situations, we create urgency about the wrong things. We panic about minor details while ignoring the major choices that are actually time sensitive. Not time sensitive in a future sense, but in a present moment sense. Hold on. Let me be really direct with you about what I'm sensing. There's something in your current reality that requires immediate attention, not dramatic action necessarily, but honest acknowledgement. You've been putting something off. You've been avoiding a conversation or a choice or a truth. It's possible that avoidance is costing you right now, not in some future way, but in this present moment, in your peace, in your energy, in your ability to move forward. Some people experience this as a constant low-level anxiety. Something is unresolved and it's taking up mental space. It's draining your battery. It's keeping you stuck in a loop. This reflection invites you to consider, what are you currently avoiding that needs your immediate attention? You may notice you've been having the same thought repeatedly lately. The same realization keeps surfacing. The same knowing keeps trying to get your attention, and you keep pushing it away, telling yourself you'll deal with it later. But that thought, that knowing, it's urgent. It's here now. It's asking to be heard now. Let me talk about what might be present in your experience around timing right now. It's possible you're currently in a window, not a future window, but a present one. A moment where conditions align in a way they don't always align, where opportunity and readiness meet, where the door is open, but it won't stay open indefinitely. Some people experience this as a gut feeling that if they don't act now, they'll miss something. Not in a fearful way, but in a clear knowing way, like you can sense that this particular configuration of circumstances is temporary. It can feel like you're looking at a situation and understanding that yes, you could wait. You could think about it more. You could analyze it further. But something in you knows that waiting isn't wisdom. It's avoidance. This reflection invites you to consider what opportunity is currently available to you that might not be available next month. You may notice someone in your life right now who needs to hear something from you, an apology, an appreciation, a truth, a boundary, and you've been waiting for the right time to say it. But what if right now is the right time? What if the urgency you're feeling is your intuition telling you that this conversation matters and it matters now? In some situations, we wait for perfect conditions that never come. We wait until we feel completely ready or completely certain or completely brave. But readiness often comes from doing the thing, not before doing the thing. There's something I keep sensing about your current state being more powerful than you're recognizing. It's possible you have more clarity right now than you've had in months, more energy, more determination, more access to your own truth. And if you wait, if you tell yourself you'll act on this clarity later, that clarity might fade. Some people experience windows of lucidity where everything becomes obvious, where the right choice is clear, where the path forward is illuminated, and those windows don't last forever. This reflection invites you to consider, are you currently in a moment of clarity that you're not acting on? You may notice you're seeing things right now that you don't usually see, patterns in your relationships, truth about your work, reality about your situation, and that seeing, that awareness. It's giving you information you need to use now, not store away for later. Use now. Let me slow down for a second, because I want you to understand what urgent actually means here. Urgent doesn't mean panic. It doesn't mean make reckless choices. It doesn't mean abandon all caution. It means recognize that this moment matters, that what you do right now, today, in this present awareness, it has weight. It's possible there's a text you need to send today, a call you need to make today, a decision you need to commit to today, not because the world will end if you don't, but because your internal alignment is asking you to honor what you know right now. Some people experience this as finally being ready to do the thing they've been avoiding. The courage is here. The clarity is here. The moment is here. And waiting for a better moment is just fear dressed up as wisdom. This reflection invites you to consider, what would you do today if you trusted your current knowing? You may notice you're currently in a state of readiness that you weren't in last week. Something has shifted. Something has settled. Something has become clear. And that shift, that's your cue. That's your signal. That's the urgent message. Act from this state while you're in it, while the clarity is present, while the courage is accessible. There's something about momentum I keep sensing in your current experience. It's possible you're already in motion in some area of your life. You've already started something. You've already made progress. And the urgency is about maintaining that momentum, about not stopping, about not talking yourself back into old patterns. Some people experience this as finally getting unstuck after being stuck for a long time. And the danger isn't that they'll fail. It's that they'll stop. They'll second guess. They'll retreat back into what's familiar. It can feel like you're walking forward and you can feel the pull to turn around, to go back to what you know, to abandon this new path before it gets too unfamiliar. But the urgent message is keep walking. Stay in motion. Don't stop now. Not because of what's ahead, but because of what's already happening. Because you're already doing it. You're already being it. You're already changing. This reflection invites you to consider, what progress have you made that you're tempted to abandon right now? You may notice you're currently experiencing resistance, internal resistance. The part of you that wants to stay safe is fighting with the part of you that wants to grow. And that fight, that tension, it creates urgency. Because the longer you stay in that tension without making a choice, the more exhausting it becomes. The more your energy gets drained by indecision. In some situations, The most urgent thing is simply to choose, to commit, to stop straddling two realities and just pick one. Let me talk about what might be happening with your relationships right now. It's possible there's someone in your current life who you need to speak honestly with, and you've been avoiding that honesty because you're afraid of the reaction, afraid of the consequences, afraid of the discomfort. But the urgency is this: that avoidance is creating more pain than the conversation would. That silence is costing you your peace. That pretending is exhausting you. Some people experience this as knowing they need to set a boundary but waiting for the right time. But what if the right time is when you're aware the boundary is needed? What if waiting just means more violations of your limits? This reflection invites you to consider, what conversation are you currently avoiding that needs to happen now? You may notice you're carrying something heavy right now that doesn't belong to you. Someone else's emotions, someone else's problems, someone else's expectations. And you know you need to put it down. You know it's not yours to carry, but you keep picking it back up. You keep telling yourself you'll deal with it later. You'll create boundaries later. You'll prioritize yourself later. The urgent message is, later isn't coming. There is only now. There is only this moment where you either choose yourself or you don't. There's something I keep sensing about your current capacity for change. It's possible you're more capable right now than you usually are, more able to handle hard things, more resilient, more grounded. And that capacity, that's temporary. That's a state you're in right now that you might not be in next week. Some people experience windows where they're strong enough to do the hard thing, and if they wait until they feel weaker, the hard thing becomes impossible. This reflection invites you to consider, what are you currently strong enough to do that you might not be strong enough for later? You may notice you're experiencing less fear right now than you usually do, less doubt, less overthinking, and that state, that clarity, that's what makes this moment urgent. Act while you're in this state, while you can see clearly, while you trust yourself, while you know what's true. Let me be really honest about what I'm picking up on. There's a quality in your current energy that suggests you're at a choice point, not a future choice point, but a present one. Right now, today, in this moment, you're standing at a fork and you need to pick a direction. It's possible you've been trying to keep both options open, trying to avoid committing, trying to maintain flexibility, but that indecision is keeping you stuck. It's preventing forward movement. It's draining your energy. Some people experience this as being unable to fully invest in anything because they're holding back just in case. But that holding back is preventing the very thing they want from manifesting. This reflection invites you to consider, what are you currently half committed to that needs your full commitment? You remain in complete control of your choices here. You can ignore the urgency. You can tell yourself you have more time. You can wait for perfect clarity or perfect courage or perfect conditions. Or you can trust what you're feeling right now. You can honor the urgency. You can act from your current knowing, even if it's not perfect. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice that as you're reading this, something specific is coming to mind. A person, a situation, a choice. That's not random. That's your intuition highlighting what needs your attention right now. In some situations, we already know what we need to do. The urgency isn't about figuring it out. It's about doing it. Take what resonates from this. Leave what doesn't. Trust your inner knowing about what's true for you. Before we close, I want to ask you something urgent. What is the one thing you know you need to do today that you've been putting off? Not someday, but today. Drop it in the comments if you feel called to share. And here's another question. What clarity do you have right now that you're afraid you'll lose if you wait? What would change if you acted on your current knowing instead of waiting for more certainty? It's going to happen very soon. It's already happening. The urgent message? It's already here. This is real. This moment is real, right now, not tomorrow, today. Trust yourself with this. Trust the urgency you're feeling. Trust that if something feels time sensitive, it probably is. Trust your current state, your current clarity, your current courage. You don't need to wait for a better moment. This is the moment. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the urgent message you're waiting for might be the one you're already receiving. Act now.